This lesson will introduce the submodule for mapping, the MP module. In this lesson, what we're going to look at is a project file and all the components that are inside of that project file. And what we'll show here is the script and the results both on the same slide so that you can see how one piece of the script creates certain results for this. So if you have a project file, normally what you would do is open up that project file and look at the map and look at the layers on that map and look at the next map that might be there and look at the layers and look at the layouts and things like that. And we're going to do this all in one script. While we will be inside of ArcGIS Pro, since we're working with a notebook, we're really only going to be using the Python script to inspect it. And you can do a similar type situation outside with an IDE. So let's switch screens and look at the script. So on the right side here, you're seeing the script, and on the left side, you're seeing the results of the script. And so I'm just going to erase. There we go. So we've erased that component. So the first line of the script is going to locate a project file. Notice it's a project file with APRX on the end. And notice we've named this variable APRX. And then we've got APRX equals arcpy.mp.arcgis project. So we've chosen the project file. That's usually the first line that we have anytime we're working with the project file. And then we have created a new variable M and said M is the list of maps. So there could be multiple maps. In this case, there's 2 maps, but there could be multiple maps that you could be looking at. And so we're taking that variable, that list variable M, and we're going to look at each item of it. So the first time through, the value of M is going to be map. So we look here, it says print map colon space, and that ends it. So that's this first part of it. We're just doing a formatting, and then we list the layer name file. And in this case, it is map. The next line that we come to is another for statement, and we want to know what is the layers that are in that map. So we have a little bit different way of we're looking at this. So we're looking at the list that we were looking at up above, and we're listing the layers one at a time. And we indent, that's what these spaces inside the quotation marks are, plus what's the layer name. So on the map, we have a layer called IN Clark Cemeteries, IN Orange Cemeteries, and so on and so forth. So the first time through the inner 4 statements, you're going to get this grouping. The outer 4 statement told me it was maps. When I get back to the outer 4 statement again, I'm going to work with this area that I've put a bracket around here. So the second map is called map 1. We didn't rename the map, so these were the default names. And these are all the layers that were established on map 1. So we're seeing a list of layers that it was established on map 1. Note the last layer here is OpenStreetMap, but that's what we chose as the background map for this one. But on map, we chose the background map to be topography. So you can see that we have 2 different background maps, and they're listed as well as all the layers that I loaded are listed. So that takes us through these 4 loops up through line 8. And then we want to look at the layout. So we were looking first at the maps that were there, and now we're going to look for the layouts. So we just print the word layout. So that is what is done here. We're just printing layouts there. And then we're looking at the layout name, the width of the page, the height of the page, and the units. So we have 2 layouts showing here. We have layout and layout 1. They're both 14 by 8.5 inches. So we included additional parameters here, which was the size of the page. So we went through this for each layout that we had. If we drop down to line 13, we're going to look at a specific layout, layout 1. Layout 1 is the second one that we mentioned there. And we have a new for loop, and this for loop is going to give us this information as our return. So legend 1, we're looking at the LL in legend 1. Tell us the name of each item, each list element that we have. So we have text 1, text, map frame 1, scale bar, legend, north arrow, and map frame. So those are the items, those are the elements that are contained in layout number 1. We could have done the same type of thing for layout 2, and we could have used nested loops here to get the same type of feature. And then the last command that we have there is deleting some of the variables that we had so that we clean up some of these variables. We had some other variables that we should have probably deleted as well. So you can see how these nested for loops are giving us all this information. We did it in a notebook, but we also in module 8 did the same type of situation inside of the IDE. So you can see how this works.